pandemic has forced all kinds of businesses to scale back and in some cases to close for good. St. Elizabeth is not one of them. On the front page centerpiece this week, ambitious expansion. The health system is on a healthy course. The not-for-profit CEO says the unprecedented crisis is a time to put your foot on the gas, not on the brakes. Reporter David Holthouse talks about the aggressive growth with Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer.
Thank you very much, David. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
You're welcome.
So my first question is, this is our cover story for our the Courier's weekly edition, and you spent a good long time talking to St. E's and talking to the people that run the place. What specifically is St. Elizabeth working on right now? During COVID-19, this is a time we've seen a lot of other hospital systems kind of retrench, but what are they working on?
Well, the big thing, they just opened a cancer center on their main campus in Edgewood in Kenton County. It's $140 million state-of-the-art facility. It's 6 stories. It is a major center. They're adding about 100 jobs to help staff that up. It'll coalesce all of their cancer care from their other hospitals, their other campuses into that center. They're also recruiting physicians, specialists, cancer type specialists into there, and adding some interesting alternative therapies as well. There's a whole floor devoted to that. So that's been on the plate for a couple of years now. Another thing that's been very interesting to me is just in May, after the pandemic emerged, they agreed to buy a hospital in Dearborn County in Indiana, Lawrenceburg. This is a county hospital that had been struggling, having some financial problems. St. E's had a relationship with them, had been providing some financial services for them, billing services. They are buying that hospital, and they're planning a major expansion in Dearborn County over the next 5 years. They're planning to build a brand new hospital there and even a satellite cancer center. So that's a major foray into another state for them.
Yeah, this all begs the question, why now? Like I mentioned earlier, and like you mentioned in the story, this is a time where a lot of hospitals are going through furloughs and just trying to keep things rolling because a lot of elective surgeries aren't being done right now in hospitals. Obviously this is a new phase for them that they never thought they'd see. But why is St. Elizabeth being so, I use the word aggressive right now with the purchase of the Dearborn Hospital, and they continue along with these big major projects? Why now?
Yeah, that's true. The other major health systems in the region have all cut back as the pandemic emerged. Services were shut down for a while and cut back. Tri-Health has cut hundreds of positions. UC Health has cut positions. Mercy Health has cut positions. So the St. E's CEO, Garen Colvin, told me that they saw this as not a time to cut back, but rather a time to step on the gas. I think they see this as an opportunity to grow. While others may be cutting back, they can use this time to expand and see an opportunity. For example, the Dearborn County Hospital is a great example of that. This was a hospital that was already struggling, and then as the coronavirus emerged, they really were having a hard time, and it became an opportunity to expand for St. E's and really become a dominant healthcare provider in that county. And so St. E's is really the dominant provider in northern Kentucky. Now they've got a hospital in every county in northern Kentucky.
Right.
And they were also able to fall back on some help that they got through the CARES Act. They got tens of millions of dollars that were able to hold them through. They also got some advanced Medicare reimbursements, and they had a healthy balance sheet already. So they were able to take that and kind of run with it.
Yeah. Last question for you. What are some of the other parts of healthcare that Colvin is getting St. Elizabeth into, other than, you know, what you would traditionally think of as what a hospital does? They're expanding sort of outside of that box.
Right. You know, one thing they've been into for a few years now, they've really been out front in providing substance use disorder care. And they partnered with another company called Sun Healthcare to open up a behavioral health substance abuse center in the last year or two. And that's an area that'll continue to be a big focus for them. We've kind of forgotten about that in this COVID-19 area, but that's still a huge problem in the community.
Yeah.
And cancer care is going to continue to be a huge driver for them. And they've started to identify people who have got cancer at an earlier stage. So that gives them a much longer path to take care of a patient. And it actually is a win-win because the patients survive and St. E gets to take care of them for hopefully for many, many years. So that's going to be continue to be one of their major drivers over the next few years.
Well, it's a great story. And I think the key, when you're reading it, I think the key to look at is, St. E is going to be a very different place when we kind of get out of COVID and we get back to some semblance of normalcy. It's, it's going to be interesting to see, St. E's will be, quite frankly, a very different hospital system. So we'll keep our eyes on that. And again, it's a fantastic read, great story, a lot of good information in there. And we appreciate you doing it. And we appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And